What if you find yourself far from home, maybe a remote location, with a serious injury and require urgent care that isn't readily available nearby? In that instance, a medical evacuation can be organized. Join us on this first edition of Global Flyer's new series titled Simulated Rescue Air Missions, where we will present you with adrenaline-rushing medical evacuation missions from around the world. Join us on today's mission as we plan the evacuation of a Swiss citizen, a Rega Swiss ambulance patron, who is luckily a member of this autonomous, privately run, non-profit foundation with more than 3.6 million patrons. During the morning of April 16th, the patient was on a private yacht near Chilkat State Park in Alaska. He sustained a complex leg injury. Responding to the captain's request for medical assistance, the U.S. Coast Guard dispatched an emergency physician to assess the patient's condition prior to airlifting him to the nearest hospital in Juneau. Hours later, the U.S. Coast Guard dispatches a helicopter to evacuate the patient from the ship to a hospital in Juneau, 60 kilometers away. Luckily, the yacht has a landing pad, which means the patient was comfortably transferred on board instead of hoisting him up on the helicopter. While the patient boarded the helicopter, it was agreed that Rega's medical team in Switzerland will collaborate with Juneau Hospital. They'll decide jointly on whether the patient should be airlifted to Switzerland for specialized care or continue receiving treatment in Juneau. While the patient boarded the helicopter, Rega's medical team in Switzerland initiates contact with Juneau Hospital. In Rega's operations center, a pivotal decision unfolds. Collaborating closely with the hospital in Alaska and the patient himself, the center decides to initiate an international medical evacuation mission. The ambulance jet, a specially configured Bombardier Challenger 650, is prepared for departure shortly to Alaska. The outbound journey will consist of a first leg to Keflavik Airport in Iceland, stopping briefly to refuel. An hour later, it will depart once again westward over Greenland and Canada, landing in Juneau 6 hours later.
Hello everyone, very warm welcome back to Global Flyers channel. Today we're introducing an exciting new series called Sim Air Rescue Missions, using Laminar Research's great Explain 12 flight simulator. Today's mission is a Swiss Air ambulance flight to position our Bombardier Challenger 650 medevac aircraft from Zurich to Juneau in Alaska to repatriate a patient back home. My name is Sam, captain on this flight. With us is our first officer, Matteo.
Hello, happy to welcome you.
And our relief pilot, Captain Luca. Today we have two sectors to fly to reach Juneau. The first is a 3-hour, 39-minute trip flying from Zurich to Keflavik Airport. We'll be flying at flight level 340 and later on maybe reaching flight level 380 depending on the situation, crossing into oceanic airspace. We expect a medical update just before reaching Iceland. Our flight physician will be sharing this with you later during the flight. The second sector, which will be a separate video that follows this one, is our second flight of the day. We continue from Keflavik to Juneau in Alaska, flying at flight level 400. We'll be presenting a section called Escape Routes or Decompression Escape Routes, which are very relevant when we fly over mountainous regions. I hope you enjoy this series and welcome on board. We're going to operate today's flight mission using the Bombardier 650 Challenger aircraft. This is a specially configured aircraft designed to operate medevac missions all around the world. You can see here the aircraft's range is around 4,000 nautical miles. That allows us to reach anywhere around the world from Zurich with just 2 en route refueling stops along the way. You can see in this image also the aircraft has 2 intensive care unit beds, all of the necessary equipment, medical equipment. What's very special about this specific medevac aircraft is that it has a specially retrofitted ramp. There's also a pilot rest area. 2 bunks here you can see in the picture, and that's located just behind the cockpit. To enhance situational awareness during bad weather, this specific aircraft is equipped with a head-up guidance system, synthetic vision system, a computer-generated 3-dimensional terrain display, and finally we have an enhanced vision system, or EVS, and that uses infrared cameras and other sensors to project a real-time image of the outside environment to enhance situational awareness during night conditions, fog, and bad weather. Our aircraft are certified by the Swiss regulators to fly in low visibility operations with a runway visual range of 125 meters. It is certified to conduct Cat 2 landings. The aircraft is also certified to fly over the North Atlantic tracks at high level airspace. So it does meet all the required communication performance parameters and the surveillance performance parameters. To operate long-haul missions, the aircraft is also certified for a maximum diversion time of 180 minutes or 1,050 nautical miles to reach the nearest scenario airport.
In the world of aeromedical evacuation, every mission is a race against time. Success isn't just operating the flight, it's about meticulous planning, precise execution, and unwavering attention to detail. When it comes to a mission as critical as repatriating patients with various medical conditions around the world, there's no room for error. Before the aircraft ever leaves the ground, extensive coordination is required. First, the patient's medical condition must be assessed. Can they tolerate a long-haul flight? Will they require intensive care, oxygen support, or additional medical equipment on board? Rega's medical team here in the Operations Center works closely with local doctors around the world to determine the safest way to prepare and transport the patient safely. Logistical planning for the mission follows. What's the fastest and most economical route? Weather patterns over the North Atlantic, for example, can be quite unpredictable, and severe turbulence can be dangerous for a critically ill patient. The flight crew carefully analyze weather conditions, jet streams, alternate airport options, and refueling stops to ensure a smooth and comfortable journey for the patient. Meanwhile, the aircraft itself must be meticulously prepared. Rega's Bombardier Challenger 650 air ambulance is equipped like an ICU with ventilators, defibrillators, and specialized stretchers. Every piece of equipment must be checked and double-checked before departure. A missing medication or a malfunctioning device could literally be the difference between life and death. The mission's crew, comprising experienced flight crews, relief pilots on long missions, and in-flight physicians, conduct a final briefing. They review the patient's condition, contingency plans for diversions, and in-flight medical protocols. Communication with Rega's Operations Center in Zurich remains constant, ensuring real-time support if conditions change and further planning becomes necessary. Finally, the mission begins. A flight spanning thousands of miles, crossing time zones, battling fatigue and adverse weather, focusing on conducting a safe and comfortable repatriation. In aeromedical evacuation, precision isn't just important, it's everything.
Welcome back. We've reviewed the flight plan with our flight crew. Today's flight is Rega Swiss Ambulance 71 on the 17th of April 2025 from Zurich to Keflavik in Iceland. We're going to be flying at a cruise airspeed of Mach 0.82, covering a ground distance of 1,520 nautical miles. We have an average wind component of minus 37 knots. We're expecting 2 flight levels today, initially flying at flight level 360 and finally at 380 as we approach Iceland. We're expecting a flight time of 3 hours 39 minutes. We have planned for an alternate at Akureyri, which is in northern Iceland. We checked the weather. The weather is looking very good here in Zurich and also in Iceland, including the alternate. We're going to be loading an extra 1,000 pounds and of course a final block fuel of roughly 13,000 pounds. Initially we're flying the Vebit 1X departure. We expect runway 28, very close to our hangar. Direct route over France, the United Kingdom, Scotland, and finally on to Iceland. We have 3 passengers on board, primarily the relief pilot plus 2 flight physicians. Very minor cargo. We expect a takeoff weight of 40.7 thousand pounds and a landing weight of 31,000 pounds 900. The weather, as we said, is very pleasant here in Zurich and in our arrival in Iceland. So this is all for the first flight of the day. We will come back and present the second flight plan for our trip from Iceland to Alaska later on in the second video. Please join us on board and enjoy the flight. APU bat 25 volt. APU gen.
Lead air duct.
Departure runway 28. Wind 280 degrees, 7 knots.
Fueling complete. Pressurization panel set. Okay, passenger signs. Okay, clear sheet panel. Check the mechanism. Airspeed set for departure 200 knots. Initial climb 5,000 feet. Alright, thrust levers. Check motion. Smoke detectors. This is our first flight.
Smoke.
And trims are set. Okay, we've got our clearance to Keflavik, Bravo India Kilo Foxtrot. We are fueled with around 13,000 pounds on board. We expect a taxi route via Zulu, Bravo 1, holding short of 28. No times have been checked, nothing's affecting our departure. For the arrival, there is some volcanic activity. It's below our expected flight path, and it's also within a restricted no-fly zone. The departure field has some mountainous regions nearby, so we'll keep minimum sector altitudes in mind, as shown on the SID chart. Our route for today is loaded into the FMS and cross-checked against the flight plan. We expect a rolling takeoff. Runway conditions are good and dry, and we don't need anti-ice for departure. Our standard departure is Vebit 1X from runway 28. We're clear to 5,000 initially. We'll be taking off at runway heading 273 to Zulu Hotel 540. We'll be turning left, then on to Zulu Hotel 542, then on to a heading of 232 to Brego at or above 5,000 feet. Right to Zulu Hotel 554 on heading 239, reaching there at 6,000 feet or higher. Then on to Zulu Hotel 558 at 7,000 feet or higher, and then finally on to Vebit, final fix in the SID. Flight instrument check. Horizon is leveled. The nav source is set to FMS1. Temperatures are posted. Airspeeds are posted. Initial speed 200 knots. Flight director is displayed. Initial climb altitude 5,000. Altimeter is set. And one setting is shown on the ICAS. Okay, so at this stage our departure briefing has been completed. We've reviewed the emergency procedures. We're ready to close the passenger door. We're clear on the right. Fuel on engine 2. 14th stage open. Aileron full left, full right. Elevator full down, full up. Rudder full left, full right, neutral. Brakes and steering okay. Check. And we have an N1 thrust setting, 90.7. V1 125. VR 131. V2 139. VT 165. In case of abortion, I'll set full reverse with monitoring from your side till standstill. If we continue the rotation speed as 131, minimum climb out speed V2 is 1. Takeoff checklist, please.
Takeoff checklist.
Traffic ahead, cross the runway.
1 minute 30 degrees, 3 knots, runway 28, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff. Swiss Ambulance 71.
I have controls.
You have controls?
Set thrust.
Knots.
Checked.
V1. Rotate. Positive rate.
Gear up. Flaps up.
Flaps up selected.
Autopilot, heading mode, vertical speed mode 2000 feet per minute.
Zurich departure. Swiss Ambulance 71. Climbing on Vivid 1 Yankee departure.
Transition altitude, switching to standard barrel. Seat belts on.
Climbing level long 20 in line.
Alright viewers, we're currently flying over England. We just made ATC contact. We also received a video message from Juneau Hospital. Our flight physician will be sharing that with you back in the cabin.
Hello, hope you're enjoying our flight. While we're en route to Alaska, we usually communicate with the medical team in our operations center in Zurich. We usually get medical updates on the patient's condition, whether they're okay to fly on a long-haul return trip to Switzerland, or whether there's ongoing complications which affect our repatriation mission. It shows how sometimes these trips are complex. Sometimes delays can cause planning issues, logistic problems, and other challenges that could cause a ripple effect across the following missions around the world. But usually by the time we are flying outbound, the patient is stabilized and conditioned for the repatriation flight. Just now, we received an update from the hospital in Alaska. Let's see.
Hey, good morning from Bartlett Regional Hospital. We wanted to give you a little update about the medevac patient. Mr. Hans Meyer, he's doing well now, he's on painkillers, and his left fractured leg is now immobilized. His injury on the yacht was not a simple break. He says he fell on stairs and then got his tibia caught up somehow. This involved multiple fragments of the bone, so a comminuted fracture. We're making sure the swelling is under control to prevent compartment syndrome. He's stabilized for now, but for the time being, we lack the advanced surgical equipment for a complex procedure. So it's great that your team is on the way here. I was told you're arriving here in Juneau in about 10 hours, so that'll be around early afternoon. We'll make sure the patient is stabilized and ready to travel on, the 18th, so Friday morning. We'll give you another update tomorrow morning. Have a safe trip here.
All right, please feel free to enjoy any refreshments, perhaps coffee. The galley is in the back.
Welcome back to the flight deck. We're cruising now at flight level 360. We have our top of descent scheduled in around 1 hour and 10 minutes. We're currently overflying the Scotland region. And we've just been cleared to descend to flight level 100. And we're arriving through the Astron 4 Michael standard arrival. We just have a speed limit of 250 below 10,000 feet, and we're expected to commence the final approach after reaching the Sonax fix.
Shortly fly over a low altitude restricted zone, reviewed in the NOTAMs. It is volcano near Grindavik, southeast of Keflavik Airport. It is not so active now, but a few months ago, it was.
Ambulance 71, descent altitude 4,000 feet, QNH 958.
Descend to 4,000 feet. Swiss Ambulance 71.
Swiss Ambulance 71, descent altitude 3,000 feet.
Descend to 3,000 feet. Swiss Ambulance 71.
sonars cleared ILS low runway 10.
Clear to sonars. AIS runway 10, Swiss ambulance 71.
Foxtrot Bravo, Zurich Airport. Cleared to Juneau Airport.
Flaps 20.
Iceland.
Gear down, please. Medevac fix.
Check.
Swiss ambulance 71, wind 07018, runway 10, clear to land.
Clear to land runway 10, Swiss ambulance 71.
Landing checklist, please.
Landing gear.
Down, 3 green.
No steer.
Armed, checked.
Anti-skid.
Armed, checked.
Passenger signs.
Passenger sign on.
Anti-ice.
Wing and cowl off. Okay, we have runway 10 in sight.
Check.
1000.
Checked.
Check.
Continue. Reverse. Decel. 60 knots. Check.
Hold up axle, descend altitude 7,000 feet, QNH liner 64.
Start approved and cleared to Rega, Valley Osk 1 Bravo departure.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you've enjoyed the first flight of the day from Zurich to Reykjavik here in Iceland. Stay tuned for the second video coming up in a week or so. In the second video, we'll be flying over the Nunavut region in Canada. We'll be talking about Baffin Island, emergency descent decompression routes, flying over mountainous regions. We'll also get another medical update from Juneau Hospital to share with you. We hope you've enjoyed this flight. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Take care and happy landings.